Hello, today I'm going to talk with you about 5 practical ways to get rid of negative thinking patterns in your marriage. Hi, I'm Tope from Hidden Treasures and Riches. So imagine you just came home from a relaxing weekend getaway with your spouse. You anticipate a peaceful week, but then when you open the door, a foul smell welcomes you to home. And as you try to find the source, you realize that it's by the fridge. Somebody left the freezer door open. As you read that, what's going through your mind? What thoughts are going through your mind? We came home to that scenario a few weeks ago when my husband and I returned from a short getaway. To be honest with you, my initial feelings were one of anger and frustration. I thought, how could he be so careless and not pay attention? But after putting our bags away, we both worked on cleaning up the mess. Outwardly, I was quiet, but inwardly, I was upset and frustrated. Now you might think, it's just a minor event. Just let it go. I agree. But if we don't bring intentionality to how we let it go, this one event can wreak more havoc than good if we allow it to fester. Ephesians 4:26 reminds us to be angry and do not sin, and do not let the sun go down on our anger. So how do we do that? How do we get angry but avoid sinning? You and I can do so by slowing down and processing our thoughts and feelings. So here are the 5 steps. Number 1, what are you thinking because of what happened? So you may find it helpful to use a journal to process your thoughts. That's what I generally tend to do. We usually think we're angry or frustrated because of what happened. But here's the truth. It's usually our thoughts. So for our smelly situation, I wrote down all of my thoughts about the situation. But the thought that bothered me the most was he doesn't care. My husband doesn't care. In my mind, I was thinking, if he cared enough, he would have paid more attention and closed the freezer door, perhaps even go back and check again before we left home. This one thought was at the root of my anger and frustration. The second step, is it true? Is it true that my spouse doesn't care because he forgot to close the freezer door, or did he just make an honest mistake? And will this event matter 3 months from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now? As I pondered on these questions, I was able to look at the situation from a different perspective and diffuse some of the negative thinking. Step number 3, how does it make you feel to believe this thought? Personally, I felt angry and frustrated, when I think that he doesn't care. But these are just feelings. I have a choice. I get to evaluate these feelings in light of my thoughts and all that happened. It's important to recognize that my thoughts are what's causing the anger. They are the hurt beneath the emotions of anger and frustration. And if I don't take time to slow down and get in touch with myself, my thoughts and feelings, I may say something I would regret later on. So for me, I realized that it's important to process my feelings and thoughts before speaking if I don't want to cause more hurt and harm others with my words. So step number 4, is this the way you want to feel? I don't know about you, but staying angry and negative is toxic and emotionally draining for me. There are times when you want to be angry about stuff, and that's okay. But you can choose how you want to feel. Disempowering thoughts or empowering thoughts. This question helps me check in about the situation and then decide how I want to feel. If I choose to feel good, I chose to feel good about this situation. I saw it for what it is, and then I decided to let it go. And step number 5, so 5 steps, is find a believable thought that helps you to stay calm and replace that negative thought. So in this our freezer incident, I chose to believe that my husband cared and that he just made a mistake. This allowed me to extend grace to him and made me feel at peace. Later on, we had a good conversation about the incident with grace, without blaming, and without being negative. I chose to extend grace. Why? Because God gives me grace each moment and each day. We all make mistakes and sometimes miss the mark. Yet, God forgives us. So, can you get rid of negative thinking patterns by slowing? So you can get rid of negative thinking patterns by slowing down to process your thoughts and uncovering the thoughts behind the hurt feelings. Find a believable thought you can get behind and choose to extend grace. The truth is, my spouse cares and he loves me. So maybe your situation is not with your spouse, but with yourself. Perhaps you struggle with negative self-talk. You think things like, I'm a failure, I'm not good enough. Well, you can use these 5 steps to help you process your negative thinking patterns and get beneath the lies. Your thoughts have power to transform your life, either positively or negatively. They affect your mindset, including your beliefs, emotions, and attitudes. This, in turn, determine your behavior and your results. And here are 2 scriptures that help me, that I found helpful for dealing with negative thinking patterns. Romans 12:2 and Philippians 4:8. Romans 12:2 says, don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Philippians 4:8 says, focus your thoughts on what is true, noble, righteous, pure, lovable, admirable, on some virtue or something praiseworthy. Friend, here's the good news. God loves you deeply. So let me ask you this. Are you willing to walk with him daily, to renew your mind with his word and choose to let go of negative thinking? When you do this, you'll transform your marriage. You'll find freedom from fear, anxiety, and negativity as you pay attention to your thinking. So if you would like to work with a professional life coach, life and marriage coach, whether it's on your marriage or parenting, feel free to book a free discovery call at hiddentreasuresandriches.com. You'll get a taste of what coaching is like and to be supported in a non-judgmental and compassionate setting. If you like this video, feel free to subscribe, like it, and share with your friends. Until next time, God bless you and have a wonderful day.